Hi guys, welcome back to the second episode in our series about the introduction to FXDreema. I decided to make these videos because some of you were saying, because we're making the videos about how to turn strategies into forex robots, but we had not touched basically on the basics. So these are just a simplified basics. Basically, the goal of this channel is to make everything so simple that even your child can do this. So I'm trying as much as I can to simplify everything. So FXDreema, as I said, is just one of many platforms that I use to turn my strategies into forex robots. You don't need to know any coding. You don't need to do any coding. With FXDreema, it's just basically taking these blocks, linking them together. They are basically instructions. They are basically instructions that you are giving to a robot to do this when this has happened and do that when this has happened, and that's how you trade. So you can basically take most of the trading strategies that are out there and you can turn them into forex robots with FXDreema without doing any coding. By the way, watch the previous video, the first video. I don't know why it's doing this. Did I lose my internet connection? I don't know what just happened right now. In any case, watch the previous video where I talked more about FXDreema as well. So I said in today's video, what we'll do is we're just going to look at these buttons. Why is it saying connection is I'm no longer connected to the internet now? I don't know why it's doing that, but in any case, let's just work. There's been a lot of load shedding in South Africa. If you're not aware, power outages. So I don't know if my router is just gone off. I'm on a laptop. It's actually a MacBook, so I'm hoping that I can still finish this video. In any case, I said I would talk about the buttons that you have on the builder. So FXDreema calls this the builder. This is where you come to build your robots. So to get rid of this is an example robot that you have on FXDreema. It's a moving average crossover. As you can see here, the instruction, it's actually moving average 5 and moving average 20. If moving average 5 drops below moving average 20, the robot is told to sell. If moving average 10 goes above moving average 100, the robot is told to buy, and it's looking for these conditions once a day and stuff like that. So that gives you an idea simply how to do this. So to get rid of this, basically if you want to move it around, basically wait for the mouse to turn into that plus thing. Then you can right click and you can delete. That's how you get rid of stuff that you don't want. You simply right click on it and you delete. And if you do not want to link these things, if you want to break the link, basically just click on a link and you delete the connection. That's how easy it is to work with FXDreema. This thing is beginning to annoy me now. Okay, so the first two buttons that you have are the buttons that we use to download the code. These are the buttons that we use to download the code. The free version does MetaTrader 4 robots. If you want to do MetaTrader 5 robots, you have to pay a little amount of money, but in any case, this is for MetaTrader 4. So MetaTrader 4, the executable file, if you want it, you just click on this button, it will download the executable file if you don't want people to sneak peek into your code. And this MQ4 is actually the source code. If you want to download the source code of your robot, you use this one. I've done videos already on this channel on how to use MQ4 files or AX4 files, but most people struggle with they're asking me how to use MQ4 file. I've done a video on the channel already. Look for that video. It's here on this channel. Then here where it says FXDreema is where you can actually change the name of your robot. So we can just, I'm just typing here example name. There, that is where you put in the name of your robot and you say done. Then constants and variables. Maybe I will do a separate videos delving into constants and variables. You don't necessarily need to use them as you are making the robots, because like I said, the goal with the channel is to make things so simple that your child can do these things by themselves. So I'll not bother you too much with constants and variables. You can make robots to work without these constants and variables. So for now, let's just skip this section. Now we come to the section that says system custom. Don't worry too much about that. This is a search bar for the blocks. If you want to look for a block, you can use that. But in any case, to see the options, if you move to a section, you see there's an arrow that appears there. Do you see that? That's what we use to just expand that section, and it gives us various options. So here is conditions and formulas. So the first one here, by the way, where you see that question mark, if you click on there, it tells you what that block or section does. So you don't need to cram these things. You don't need to cram these things. You don't need to make your life hard. Basically, just move your mouse where, if you don't know what this thing does, just click on that question mark. It will tell you what that condition does and gives you some tips. So these are the first is about conditions and formulas. This is, if I double click on it, this is where we can actually set the various tools that we want to happen for a sell or a buy to happen. This is where they got the conditions here. This is where they got them. So that's basically what this does. So you can basically link to it, and then what you come and you take, I'm just going to break this, and you say, if these conditions are met, I want a sell to happen. That's as simple as creating a robot with FXDreema. That's why I love it. So that's they've got different conditions in here and formulas. We can go through them as we find various strategies to turn into robots. Then here there's conditions for indicators. Basically, again, you can just simply click on there if you're not so sure what that does, and also you can just move it there and you can double click it. And this is usually where, for example, this might need a crossover, but maybe you have an indicator that does not need a crossover. You can find the conditions here, and here you can use price with an indicator. So you are not having maybe a moving average crossover, but you are having price crossing over an indicator, maybe moving average or whatever the indicator that you can use. So that's where you find them. Then here is time filters. Time filters is where you tell the robots that do this in so many hours, do this in so many months, do this maybe once per bar. Usually you can see here, no trade. What I usually do is I'll tell the robot to say once per bar, look for this, do this once per bar, because sometimes if you don't tell the robot to do that, it will continuously opening 1,000 trades, and if you don't want that, this is a block that you can use. So you can see what you can do. So these are, for example, once per minute, once an hour, do this. Once for a number of ticks, do this. Every number of bars, do this. So this is the section where we find time filters. Then here we can tell the robot to look for trades, check for trades, make sure that you have no open trades before you do this. That's why they have that thing. So you are telling the robot, I don't want you to open new trades if there are other trades that are running. So first make sure there are no trades that are running that you have placed before doing this. So this is where you check for trades and you count orders. Maybe you want to limit the robot to maybe 1,000 trades or 100 trades, or so basically this is where you come for that. And we come here, we can tell the robot if after these consecutive losses, stop trading. If after consecutive profits, do this. So this is where we find all these bars that you can use to make our robots more functional. So these are the buttons, these are the sections, and of course here are the buy and sell buttons. This is where you find them, the buy now, or you can actually use buy pending order. So instead of a buy now, you can actually tell if this happens, put a pending order, and you can tell in this block by how far the pending order needs to be and stuff like that. So you just need to double click in here and you can set the conditions for the pending order, and you can do that for the sell side of things as well. And we go here we have a bucket of trading orders. Let's just double click in there. I'm guessing this is where you want to manipulate a number of trades. I haven't used this section in a long time. I kind of forgotten what you do with that. But if you want to manipulate several number of trades, you are looking at a bucket of trades and also pending orders and stuff like that. Maybe you are looking at what closed trades. But what I usually tell people is, don't just take what I tell you guys. Also go here and explore and experiment by yourself, because if you are going to be stuck with everything that I'm just telling you, you are not going to broaden yourself. So what you also want to do is to explore these things and experiment by yourself. And this is conditions that you can set for what, for each trade, for all the trades and orders that you have on your robot. So you can tell the robot, check the age of the open trades. If they are too old, close them. Maybe you want the robot to check to look at the pending order, and just connect it like that. If the pending order is now 2 days old, close that pending order. It's no longer valid. You see. So this is where you find all those things. So maybe the price is moved by so many pips away from stop loss. You tell the robot, do this when price is moved away so many pips from the stop loss. So that's where you find those conditions. And here we can take our trailing stop and break even. I'm now rushing. I'm trying to make these videos shorter. This is where you set your trailing stops and break even. Some of these things are going to make sense as we actually do the creation of the robots. And here, trading actions. Here you can tell the robot to close trades, to close the losing trades, close the profitable trades, close the most profitable trade, delete pending orders. There are many actions, trading actions that you can give your robots there. Then here we've got chart and objects. You can actually tell the robot to draw a Fibonacci, for example, or to draw a line, draw a gun, a shape, or you can actually tell it to delete all those things from your charts. Delete objects here, and you can tell it to modify chart colors and stuff like that. So this is where you find all those things. So when you find somebody has got a robot that is doing some funny impressive stuff, this is how they are doing it. And loop for chart objects, you can basically, again, this is manipulating what you are seeing on your charts. So check the buttons, you are modifying colors, properties, basically the things that you are seeing on your charts. Then communications, for example, you want the robot to pop up a message when this has happened. When this has happened, you tell the robot to pop up a message that says moving average 10 has crossed over moving average 100. And this is how you actually do that. So this is output and communication. There's a lot of stuff that you can manipulate here with your robot. Then here we've got various signals. Again, you don't just need to use the moving average, crossovers and stuff. You can actually use maybe bears in a row, maybe 3 bearish candles that appear in a row. Then you want what? You want the robot to buy. I'm just giving an example. I'm not saying when you see 3 bears in a row you must go and buy. I'm just giving you an example. So your robot will be based on the condition that whenever there are 3 candles that appear in a row, the bearish candles, it buys. So this is where you find more signals as well. Some of them no longer work, so just bear in mind which ones work and which ones do not work. And then we come to control block. Again, this is helping you to expand on the blocks that you are using here. So in terms of your conditions, maybe you say when this happens and another condition happens, I want you to do this, or maybe this and that does not happen, don't do that, and stuff like that. Then some of these things you don't need to exactly bother with them. The flags and counters, I've not really used many of these with the strategies that I've been using, so don't bother too much with those. And this I've used, especially this one. There are strategies or robots that we've created, especially using this pass block. The pass blocks, just if you just want something to just happen, ignore this. For example, again, this is not a proper robot. Sometimes you just want the robot to ignore everything else and just start buying. It just starts buying. You use the pass block and the robot will just start buying. So those are some of the things that you can actually do with that, but we'll venture into most of the functionality as we actually 10 strategies into robots. Then this is the event section. Now this is an important section, because everything that we are doing here, when we are telling the robot what to do, we want it to happen when it's on the on tick section. The on tick section, we want this is what happens in the when the ticks are coming into your chart. When the markets are moving, this is where we want the robot to be doing. The first one is called OnInit. Basically, is on initialization. This is what you want the robot to do as soon as you put it on your chart. So one thing might be, as soon as you put the robot on your chart, you want it to draw a Fibonacci. Or maybe you want it to draw some shape or a button. This is where you start working on the robot. So as soon as you put the robot on your chart, this is what you want the robot to do, to draw some buttons, or whatever buttons that you'd have set for the robot. Then on timer, you can put in a timer period. I haven't had strategies that I've used the on timer section. Maybe we'll do in the future, then we'll delve deeper into that. Mostly we've used on tick, and we've used on init. Then on init, I've talked about it. Then on trade again, this is what you want the robot to do when it opens an order. When order is created to this trade TP, this is how you modify the take profits, how you modify the stop losses and stuff like that. Or you can actually delete orders. This happens in the on trade section. This is on chart. So again, this is what happens on chart. Let's say you have a button that you created on initialization. When the robot loaded, it created a button for you. Now you tell the robot, when I move my mouse to that button and I click object, this will be basically a better one. So this is where when object is clicked, and what object do we use, would have named the button, would name the button something here, then would come here and we say when this object has been clicked, do this. So this is the on chart section. I've already done videos on the channel about putting like buttons to open and close trades and stuff like that. This is why we use on chart. This is what happens on the chart as you are clicking on the objects that are on your MetaTrader 4 chart. Then on DNIT is what happens when you actually close, when you remove the robot from your chart. It's de-initialization. So you are telling the robot, when I delete the robot from my chart, I don't want these buttons and stuff to remain on my chart. I want you to delete them. So on de-initialization, the robot will then go ahead and delete these Fibonacci and shapes and buttons that it would have plotted when it started. Then you remain with a clean MetaTrader 4 chart as you are working. So those are some of the buttons, and I've tried to make everything simple. I'm trying my best to make this so simple that a grade 1 child can also do these things. But some of these things are going to become clear as we make the actual robots, as we go and make the actual robots. Then here you can have what, some instructions. This is how to use if you are lost. This is this is a guide. Basically, we talked about this in the first video. This is a guide on how to use FXDreema, and here is a forum. If you ever get lost, you can come here and you can ask some people some questions as well. If you are encountering some challenges with FXDreema, there's a huge community. There are some helpful people there who can answer your questions. And there is another how-to if you want to learn more about creating simple programs, basically a crossover robot. How do you create one, and things like that. So I hope that this helps you to just get an idea of this builder. This is a guide on the builder, and as you can see here, it's giving you a number. This is the number of the buttons that you have, the blocks that you have per section, the number of blocks that you have per section. Remember, we said the free version, we have 17 I suppose. Remember, we said the free version of FXDreema, you probably need about 11 blocks. So your number will need to be 11 if you are using the free version. If you have paid the subscription, then you can go up to 100, I believe. So this is why these 3 or 17 are 4 are important. They are just telling you, whether you are exceeding the number of blocks that you are allowed, or you are still fine. Okay, like and subscribe. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Now we'll get into the deeper of things, where we'll start looking at other strategies and making these robots. We'll start with the simplest ones, and then we'll delve deeper into the complex, hard stuff. But the goal of this channel is to try and make everything so simple that even a child can do these things. Guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.